Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Game Testing Unlimited. My name is Wilfred. So in this episode, I'd like to showcase to you a game called the Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr, the complete collection including 21 items, the base game, the Prophecy DLC, a bunch of cosmetic item and a whole lot of missions. So it is a whole complete set, AAA game with a AAA price, but it does come with a discount from time to time. I do get it on discount. It's definitely very worth it. As an old school gamer that I play many sci-fi game in the past, be it ARPG or strategic game, this is really good. Now, so in this video, I'm going to walk through a different element of it to give you a sense of what I'm talking about here, and also I'm going to play the game a little bit as well, just to in case you want to see some of the gameplay video. The second part, I'll put a time code just in case you want to just jump through it and see how it plays like before you hear all this interface and so on. The interface wise is one of the best. I've played many games before. The interface of the Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr is really good. It's very clean design. I really like it. Everything just give you all the if you're unsure, there's a question mark there. You can click on there and see what it is. So everything is so clean, so nice. It does remind me of some of the Blizzard game like Starcraft kind of design, or Starcraft 2, the design. Now, first thing first, as you can see, this is a seasonal character, so it's very much like a Diablo 3. It's closer to Diablo 3 than, say, the Path of Exile. It does give you the different tier. Again, the very clean and nice interface to it. So, tier 1, you can fulfill different objective to get different kind of reward. And as you can see, once you get the reward, some of the reward are quite meaningful as well, because unlike, say, Diablo 3, the reward of by and large just portrait and cosmetic or some gears for you, but there's no that's about it. But for the Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr, there are different tiers to it, and just like Diablo 3, you don't have to be at that chapter to earn some of this unlock certain kind of objective, because you can. Like for me, I've done 3 of them here. So yeah, so that is kind of interesting as well. There are different kind of tiers to it, and you got different kind of commendation and frame and so on. So it is kind of meaningful as you progress to Grandmaster and Heroic and so on, reach level 100. So I don't know. This season just has started quite a while back. I think back in June. Then it rolled out to the console. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm keen to just try and see how far I can get, because it's a brand new game to me. It just remind me of Diablo 3. The first time I do season took me a long time, but after a while it get faster and faster. And season wise is a slightly, how should I say, it's a bit different from Diablo. Well, it's somewhat closer to Diablo than Path of Exile again, because it's not the theme of the season is not really a big deal, big different. But they do introduce different kind of shards for you, different kind of gear and so on. So I think it's kind of fun. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot here. So this is a season character. It does have the. I'll show you in just a bit when I go into the actual interface. Now, some of you are into the options, so I just want to quickly show it to you that yes, you can customize a lot of things, whether you can see some bars or number or what have you. You can also customize all your control, whether you want to move using your keyboard and whatnot. One tips for you though, the camera rotation is really painful in this game. There's one thing I don't like, is that you have to rotate the camera a lot. It's very painful, and the one way I do it is that I map it to DNA key to just use a keyboard to turn camera. I think that kind of improved my life a great deal, but it's still not perfect. It's still kind of it's just kind of painful. But yeah, there are many things that you could do with the option itself. You can create character as well. I've got I tried out some character like the Adept as well. Assassin. And some others. So you can create here. Let me show it to you. So you can have a Crusader. A Crusader is very much just a Crusader, I guess melee, or you can have gun as well. But within each class, there's subclass as well. You can have like assault Crusader, you can have like tactical Crusader, or you can have like heavy gunner Crusader if you like guns and so on. So there are different kind of like ability to it, but more so it helps you to unlock some of the attribute earlier, or some of the passive earlier. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can pick like this subclass, but you still want to use this ability if you want to, because guns and all this ability are tied to the armor itself. It's not from the skill tree or what have you. So you could potentially do that, and so on. And then you have the you can do assassin as well, which I'm using right now. Assassin, you can go for the gun, a bit of melee as well if you want to play a melee character, stealth melee character. That's your cup of tea. Or just like myself, I do eradicator, so it's just a bit of shotgun and sniper, as well as I have armor to slow things down. You can be a psyker as well, that is like more like a mage kind of character, I guess. You have different kind of different kind of configuration to it. It's all about what kind of play style that you want to start with. But like I said, you can always switch over to another subclass. There's not a big deal. Last but not the least, this is a character that's a tech adept that's been introduced during the Prophecy DLC. My advice to you is that don't start with this if you are new to the game, because it will skip all the original story and jump to the DLC story. Because they would assume that you have already completed all this kind of like mission and so on. If you don't mind skipping all the stories of the base game, go ahead with it. But if you do want to experience the base game first, I would say unlock this one last. But the good thing about this class is that it's a summoner class, so you can bring in the pet and so on. I think this is you can bring in the pet, so it is summoner class. So so it's a nice thing. You can do a seasonal or story mode just like Diablo 3, I guess. They don't force you into either one, up to you. But I like season, always do like season, and after a season they will bring it to the normal. So yeah, just like Path of Exile and Diablo 3 actually. So let's play a little bit of it so they can get to understand the how games kind of like works like. So the like I said, I mean, this is the base, and and if I may just go through this interface with you a little bit so you can understand what you are going for. By the way, there are footprint as well, just like the Path of Exile. If you get the the complete edition, is something like that, right? This game remind me of World of Warcraft sometimes, because it does have the like events, like global event. You have the seasonal, you have the challenges as well. These are daily challenges. So and you can do this one, complete a mission without using the inoculator, at least on your level. Then if you get this challenge done, you get 25 fate, and fate is it's very good to get because you can then use a fate to research onto your character. To make your characters, crafting and so on, it requires fate. So for example, if you look at the crafting here, so this is a nice crafting. You have different kind of like tech tree. So each one, like this one here, if I manage to get this one, I can reroll the numeric value of the item enchantment. But I need 75 fate in order to unlock this guy. And I unlocked this guy, which kind of a little bit of mistake, because I thought it's quite good to allow leveling up of the item. Enchant tap by 5 times instead of 2. So if you play the Hellgate London, right, it's very much, the crafting is somewhat close to that as well. You can level up your equipment if you want to a next level as you play Hellgate London. So yeah, I mean, it does have a little bit of that as well. You can do a modify some of the item. If you have item put it in, you can enchant it, reroll it, and what have you. You can do a bit crafting as well. So these are all the elements that I've collected. All these elements here, they can do crafting. Very much like Diablo 3. All these elements are done using the salvage kind of like, if you have a whole bag of things, you can salvage different kind of like item, just like Diablo 3, and then you can craft out the each of the item itself, and it's good because you can always craft to your level. So it's unlike Diablo 3 whereby it's all level locked. This item is for leveling, and you can only get that level. But these are all when you craft, it's always at your level. So you can say that, well, I try to farm, and if I can't farm the right thing, then you can craft it and just like put it in there, do a bit of like enhancement if you want. But it's not cheap. It's not cheap, the enhancement itself. So that's a crafting. thing. Now the fate, like I said before, is very, very important to grant it. However, if say you don't want to have the complete edition, right? Then you want to just unlock the mission, because the mission can be purchased using fate. But each mission, I believe, is about 800 fate. So as you can see, 800 fate is naturally not that easy to accumulate, because each mission that you complete will earn you 1 fate, and each mission probably need about 10 minutes if you're not fast. If you're fast, maybe 5 minutes or whatnot, what have you. So you do need a grind for quite a fair bit. You have to do dailies. You have to do mission to earn enough fate to unlock another mission to play. Or you can just pay a couple of dollars and say, well, this is my money, take it and unlock a mission for me. Now I thought it's quite obvious. I would just pay a couple of dollars, just get the mission unlocked. However, if you want to earn it yourself, you can earn it too. All right. So now that is the challenge itself. The season event that are going on. There are like global event. So every month, I believe there is there is an event whereby you can do something about it. You can have the week of the predestination. So these are some of the elements that make the game a little bit more living and breathing as the week or days go by. So yeah, I mean, these are all the different kind of elements whereby you feel that the game is not static. When you play Green Dawn is a great game, don't get me wrong, right? But it is always the same static kind of feel to it. Every day you log in, it's the same thing. Whether you log in today or 1 week later, doesn't matter. You can just let it sit for a while and you can play it. But this game is not. Every time you come to here, that's a little bit different here. So that's why I like it. Now, second thing is that there's a star map here. The star map is kind of interesting. If you play the Mass Effect 1, you will get what I mean if you play the Mass Effect 1. So these are all the stars that you can go in. You can actually zoom out as well. Let me just go back out a little bit. You can do a bit of space traveling. You can zoom out to different kind of galaxy, and after that you have different these are all the different missions. By the way, green is at your level, and the white is not at level. These are all side missions. Side mission you can do it for the reward and so on. Very much like Mass Effect 1. If you recall, Mass Effect 1 has a lot of repetitive side mission whereby you land your Hoover, your vehicle onto the planet, walk around, and then enter some of the bunker, and then you kill off things. And it's the same map all the time. But a lot of us is still having a lot of time, a lot of fun to do side mission, because it's a little bit of space exploration, a little bit of the surprise of what is there, so you can have that too. You can zoom all the way out to the highest level, which is what this one is. That would tell you there are different kind of systems here. So it's a level 30 system, level 25 system. You can do things here, and ultimately I think there's one more. You can go up to the very, very high level, I believe. So these are all the galaxy. Those are open. I think you can see some are being locked, but yeah, some are being locked here. The system, the subsector here. All right. So just a high kind of high level walkthrough of what the thing is. Now, some people say, well, all this animation is really not that nice, because I need to click onto so many things to zoom in and so on. You don't have to do that. So another option is that instead of going through this space traveling, like just zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, it was fun to start with. After 15 hours, you will say, well, I have enough of it. That's fine. I mean, when you are level 30, you can access a menu called the mission deployment. So in this mission deployment, you don't need to do the traveling like just now what I showed you. You can just pick what you want to do. So for example, at my level 33, I can pick any of this guy and just do it, right? And the each one of them we have a different kind of reward. You can see that there's a map that I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to get rewarded, and so on. So yeah, I mean that's pretty good. And you can just click onto it and travel and do it, just like bounty in Diablo 3. All right. Now the other thing I would like to really talk about, there's many things to talk about here, but the other thing I would like to talk about besides the cosmetic thing is the overall kind of how this game works. How this game works is that although they are passive, whereby these are all the passive that you can do. Like I'm a range kind of person, so I do quite a fair bit of buffing to my skill tree that are not the one in the middle. But there are also other ones that fall out from the skill tree whereby it may be useful to your gameplay. So yeah, so that is one of the things. But you can't unlock. I don't think you can really unlock everything and put everything to a max. You have to make certain decision. I do a fair bit of health as well, to make myself stronger or more durable. You can do a bit of crit as well. So that is what I've chosen so far. But you can choose totally different thing. Now, but like I said before, say you start off your character, but you want to do a bit of melee. Melee is locked right now, but what you need to do is just deal melee damage, and then after that complete the heroic deed to unlock this one. So once you've done the heroic deed, and then you can unlock a passive. So even if you are not choosing the subclass that you want, that you start with, you can always venture out into other subclass later on in the game as you unlock the heroic deed as well. All right, so that is one. Last but not the least, of course, the character itself is a lot of you can do quite a fair bit of points allocation, just like any other games that you have, like Green Dawn and so on and so forth. And it does give you the score sheets, just like many other things. Now, the one thing that is similar to Diablo again is the Decoy Perks, which kind of like a passive in Diablo 3, whereby you can pick different kind of perks. And there are quite a lot of perks that you can pick. These are like a passive. Depending on your play style, you can pick something that is more to your sniper, more to your durability, and so on and so forth. What I've got though is that I can throw more grenade, and I can and any skill with 3-second cooldown is more damage, and after that I have more crit chance and crit hit on kill. So crit hit strength on kill. So that's what I picked. Right now, onto the equipment itself, I think that's where the things get quite interesting. Is that there are things that you could do, there are power that actually come from a gun itself. So like for example, if you get this gun, you see the 4 icons there. The 4 icons will be certain kind of like ability to it, like ability 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like Guild War 2, if you play Guild War, the ability tied to the equipment itself. You can have different set. You can set 1, set 2, very much like Hellgate London. You can toggle which set it is, and when you toggle a set, then it gives you a different kind of ability to it. So I've got 2 sets. One is my bread and butter. Another one is the one that does more against the armor kind of like class, or when I unfortunately overheat my first gun, I can toggle to my second gun. So that's one. Now, the armor itself is the one that gives you see the icon there with the yellow icon there. It's one ability that's quite important. It's more or less like an ultimate if you play other games. And this one is to slow everything down around me, because I'm more like a melee. It's a mid-range kind of character. It's not really a melee. It's not a total range, right? You can have others as well, like stealth, or there's one more, I can't remember, a hologram. So you have a couple of ultimates that you can pick from, but the ultimate's always tied to the armor itself. So that's pretty cool. This guy is the one that does the healing, or they call it inoculator. The healing itself, it could be healing, it could be other kind of like ability to it. So if you play Path of Exile, this is very much like having the different flasks that you have, and but they put all the flasks at the same time. So once you use it, you get all the buff at the same time. So it's a little bit different in some sense. All right, so that is the part to it, and there are other kind of like other kind of like ability, like the grenade. Grenade is the one that come from these items here, the belt item. But you can have other things like the mine, or put some mines around you. So these are the one that will govern what kind of like ability that you do. So all in all, I mean, it is very much equipment driven. There are many type of guns that I don't even confess that I've tried them all, but I do have some favorite one that I stick to. All right, so this gives you a very quick clean walkthrough of what the game really feels like, and you can do like co-op as well if you want. I haven't tried that. PvP if you want to, and other things like storage. Again, is very much like Hellgate London. If you play Hellgate London, it's just like put in the stash like that. Or quite a lot of games are like that anyway, not just Hellgate London. So yeah, so that is I think that should kind of explain the game in general. Some of you may want to see if you can reset the ability, because for me, I always like to reset all my passive and so on. You can do. Oops, sorry. There's something like this one, the mind reset, so you can reset all this skill tree and so on. There's a whole bunch of other blueprint as well. So say if you can loot for it, or you can just like complete the if it's something that you really want, then you just get one of these blueprints. So, you know, like if you have a gun that you really want to use a lot, then yeah, I mean, it's worth it to get a blueprint. But it does cost quite a fair bit. I mean, you know, it's still like oh man, they need to put a comma somewhere. It's 200,000, so I only have 600,000, so I can't really afford that many. But yeah, things here are quite expensive, all right? And they do reset from time to time, like every half an hour or so. Okay. With that said, let me just do something here. Let me just try, I don't know whether I can work or not, complete a mission without using the inoculator, at least on your level. It's going to be rather hard, because if you're not using inoculator, you have to be really careful and patient, because you can't heal yourself. And and I can't even, like, you know, accidentally click the button, because sometimes panic and you just click the button. So this is going to be a slow burn, I would say, but I hope that gave you a little bit of understanding of how this thing works. And well, each mission you can die 3 times, so I may or may not be able to complete it. We'll see. We are at level 33, and there are many missions at level 33. I actually like rescue. I find that rescue is kind of good, because as you rescue, you got people coming with you and help you through as well. And you can, I 3 deaths, so I probably will take a few deaths, and because I can't heal, right? Because that is the how I do my dailies. That experience point and so on. So this is the at your level, so there's no buff to you nor this like, you know, debuff against other enemy. But however, if you're playing a map that's lower level than you, you gain advantage towards the map. Of course, the reward is lesser as well. So let's see. I'm gonna play it for you guys. It's a very nice game. I really like it. It's a bit like XCOM, but in real time. Yeah. And the storytelling is very much like a Starcraft as well. If you play Starcraft, you probably can Starcraft 2. You can recognize some of this conversation and so on.
Straightforward rescue mission. Get in, save some Imperial units under fire, take command of the survivors, and get out. I don't even dare to ask why an Inquisitor is handling this.
Yeah.
Mark the distress beacons and the extraction zone on your map.
Yeah, so it's good, right? It's a little bit like Starcraft 2, and you can have a map here as well. And by the way, these are all cover. You can take cover. You know, you take cover and shoot something, right? Shoot something, and that's good. Now I've got a few buttons here. I got single sword, which is what I use it, you know, kind of quite often. Strong versus the armored as well. And I've got temporal, kind of like the anomaly, which is like a piercing. So it's just single target piercing, or just line things up and pierce. It's a cooldown power. Then I have a channel power as well, the gravity surge. And after that, I have the gravity implosion, which is a pretty good one, but there's a pretty long cooldown as well. It's 18-second cooldown, so it's pretty long. Green light I can use, and I have to remember I shouldn't use the inoculator, all right? And this is the so-called ultimate, 93 seconds of cooldown, right? And these are the little buff that have focus aim, inferno, as well as the blazing spirit. Inferno is the one that come with the season buff, I believe. And so this is the health. This is your suppression. When you are in green, you're protected. But once you start to have a yellow, you start to be very, very vulnerable. And when it become red, it's like you're almost dead. So that is how the whole thing works here interface wise. Objectives are all here, so it's very, very clear. So there's a guy in front. There's quite a fair bit of people. Now this is a big guy. So this cover mechanism, right? Auto looting as well. So I use a camera this way, so it's easier. I have to make sure that I'm a bit patient as well. This is done. There's a whole bunch of I think this is going to be quite challenging here. Yeah. Okay, done. Done. And usually I try to find a cover as well, because I can't use my health potion, so I. Done. So it's not extremely fast paced, but it's a bit of tactical as well. you oh, there's a boss there, by the way.
For the Emperor.
Okay, so there's a boss coming there, so it's a bit have to be careful. There's no there's a sentry. Oh wow, have to be careful.
Overheat.
Overheat. Switch gun.
Overheat.
So this is a different gun that I'm using. I have to recuperate a little bit. I just want to get my health back. So this is another gun that does like a single shot demolition. There's a knockback as well, short range knockback, and there is a focus bolt as well as the compressed plasma. I'm not really liking this gun, so I'm going to switch it back to the other gun. And but when you switch back, of course, they'll have a cooldown here. Just like, you know, just be careful a little bit. So that is where things are going a little bit slower because like I said, I mean, you know, it.
Now you're gone.
So that's done. Yep. So that's it. Let's move on. Next bit. I just need to stay focused, and then I'll get the. I don't have to do this one actually. You can skip those, just like Warcraft, World of Warcraft. You don't have to do everything. Okay, AOE, the warp. Now there's a supply in front, so I can actually go back. Ooh, what am I? Oh, there's a. I didn't see this. Now there is a. Oh wow. A bit of cover. There's a supply here, but I haven't used any of mine yet, so I can always come back and get a supply if I want to. But of course, that become. Yeah, a bit more tedious to. Okay. Oh, there's another one here, is it? There's a lot. And the oh no. Okay, there's a whole bunch of people there. I need to save them fast.
You just saved some Imperial meat from the grinder. Get to the next group.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't come in early enough. Some of them are kind of like hurt, in a sense. So I can throw a grenade as well. By the way, like this one here. Then it become like, you know, it exploded so nicely. There's a bar here. I have to be careful not to overheat the gun, because this gun doesn't use ammo. It's an overheat. You can overheat the gun if you are not careful. Now this kind of mission, usually there is a optional boss towards the end. So I probably, because of the fact that I can't use health potion, I'll not use the. I'll probably skip the optional boss. Let me see here. I can take a cover here. Now this is a shrine, by the way, just like Diablo 3. So there's a shrine that make you stronger. So this shrine will give you like increase the damage, which could be useful. Then I can be a little bit braver now, and just whack the whole thing because I'm stronger. Okay, that's done.
Imperial reconnaissance forces located. Potentially useful assets, but their current situation is terminal. Immediate action required.
Okay, done. Another shrine here. This is the another shrine that is like an increased damage reduction. So there is one evacuation
All
half.
survivors are in your custody. Initiate exfiltration protocols.
Okay, so I can just like I can skip the optional boss and just get it done here. Let me just see. So all are done. So that's done. Mission complete. I don't need to do the rest.
Into teleportorium chamber. Engage.
But I could though. I mean, there's an optional boss here, I believe, and chest as well if you do it. But hey, I just want to get the fate, you know, reward. So as you can see, I mean, it's kind of fun. It's not that fast, but it's good. Now, these are fate that I've earned, the challenge completed, because these are daily, and I can claim all this like gear and what have you. I can claim them, so I get 50 fate as well. That's beautiful. And with that, I've got myself 130 fate. Yay! Then I can unlock one of these in the season. Let me just be careful here, because sometimes I do make mistake. I do make mistake quite a lot of time. Is to research reforging protocol and enhance an item. So I go and research on this tech tree. I have this is a reforging protocol. I hope I'm right, because it does cost quite a fair bit. So yeah, so I've got that. So yeah, I researched this. Okay, so that is how you do it. So that is so that's one. And you can also salvage your item as well. For example, you got all these items that you do not need. I think I probably don't need to have some of these guys. So these are for crafting, by the way. These are like the gems or whatever that is like other stuff that you do. But so far, I don't really see anything that is required. So what I'll do is I chuck these are the crafting material onto the stash, and the rest of it I would just destroy them, salvage them. You can salvage them like that, and then after that, then you get a bunch of material there. All right, so that is a very kind of basic kind of walkthrough. Oh, by the way, there's another challenge. Oh, that's quite interesting. I can complete 3 missions in a row without dying, at least at your level. So what I would do is that I'll come to here. I'm level 33, right? So I'll start to pick 33 kind of missions. Do 3 of them without dying. So I use health potion or what have you. I got another 25 fate. I mean, it is possible to farm fate if you want to. And after that, you can make your crafting more interesting and so on. Yeah. So this is all that I have got for you today. And as and when I get to the end game, then I'll do a bit more video on what it looks like. So you have this challenge here, but you can also go into the next location for your mission as well. So there's a storyline alongside with the other challenges, the distraction you have. Very dynamic game. So give it a shot. I really like it. I hope you enjoy this video. Happy to answer any question that you may have. I think just a recap, this is a very good game for those who like the old school kind of gaming. It reminds me of games like Mass Effect 1, Diablo 3, or a bit of XCOM in a real-time kind of setting, a bit of Starcraft 2 kind of a story with all the video transmission and so on. Certainly, I'm loving it. All right, I'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye.